We saw Montreal make some significant adjustments between games 2 and 3. I'm curious what Claude Julien has to do to get his team back on track. They've been a real Jekyll and Hyde squad, Doug, throughout this series, especially from game 2 to 3.
Well, if you're Claude Julien and the coaching staff, you got to be pretty upset with your top two lines when you looked at last night's game. Generated limited speed through the neutral zone, limited forecheck, physical play, and no sustained pressure to the Canadiens' net. And that's from their top 6 forwards, which is their best players. You look at the Krejci line with Iginla and Lucic. I mean, it was almost a no-show for them last night. Then you go to the Bergeron line. Yeah, he scored a goal. There's no doubt about it. It was a beautiful tip. But other than that, you're having a hard time finding these 6 players in a game against the Montreal Canadiens. I thought if they don't get a better performance from these top 6, this could be a short series.
It's great to have this reputation of being this comeback team, but how far can you push that envelope? And yet again, they were called upon to come back from behind and win this hockey game. It's not going to happen all the time. And for whatever reason, why does it take so long for this team to get going? Where is their sense of urgency to start the game? I can appreciate what you're saying in terms of the big lines, and the zone times have actually been okay. But when you're the number one centerman in Krejci is goalless so far in these playoffs.
And invisible.
It's hard to imagine the Boston Bruins can move forward here.
Well, a peaceful game.
Well, and Claude Julien said afterwards, he said it's clear that line is frustrated. They did get the Iginla goal late in the third period, but he said if they don't step up and start producing, this team is not going to be successful.
Shocking that there was only a couple of penalties in a game between Montreal and Boston in the playoffs.
When's the last time the Boston Bruins, the big bad Bruins, have taken one penalty in a game? Seriously.
Okay, Tuukka Rask, from round 1 to round 2, his numbers have ballooned.
Well, the feeling coming in was that for whatever reason, Rask can't get over this Montreal Canadian hump. And you're right, the numbers weren't good coming in, and they haven't gotten much better in 3 games here. But to me, it's all about the timely save. Say what you will. It's that Grant Fuhr theory that it doesn't matter how many you let in, just make the key ones when you have to. And you can't go 0 for 2 on breakaways. The PK Subban, okay, we get it. World-class skill, that's fine. But Weiss coming in on a breakaway, you have to shut the door down. And that is basically Boston's biggest problem right now, outside of their intensity, is the fact that they're not getting big saves, and Price is outplaying Rask.
Yeah, and look, Price looks like he's getting stronger with every game, and especially if he's going to get to see the puck. That's frightening for the Bruins if this guy sees the puck. Because in Boston, I'm sorry, he did not see the puck. Rask, he's got to be a lot better.
Peter Chiarelli is going to greet the media later on today. I wonder whether he's going to say something that's going to distract from his team and let them sort of find themselves throughout this series, because they've been marching uphill throughout.
Well, they have, and they've only had limited minutes. Well, the first game they dominated Canadiens for most of it, and then of course the last 9 minutes of game 2. But there wasn't a lot of intensity to their game in game 3. And one of the biggest problems, and Julien talked about it the other day, they have to get a lead. They have to score first in the game. They've led for 11 minutes and 39 seconds in total in this series. Canadiens have led for over 107 minutes. You said it earlier, Nick. You can't come from behind every night. You can't fall behind by 2 every night and expect to prevail.
No way. I mean, that's the new playoff formula. You fall behind 3-1 and you win games. I mean, it started with the Blue Jackets. Come on.
In
It's the new
2014,
way.
for sure. It must be taxing, though, mentally.
You know what? There's 2 different styles of plays. One with the lead, one when you're chasing the scoreboard. And so far, they've played really in the Montreal Canadiens' hands in terms of when you don't have the lead. It's very difficult on most nights.